Just a few days back, Trump said he's ordering a halt to nearly 2 months of U.S. airstrikes on Yemen's Houthis. The U.S. president declared that the rebels supported by Iran have signaled their desire to cease hostilities and have committed to halting assaults on vessels in an essential international trade corridor. Trump's announcement probably signifies a sudden conclusion to a series of airstrikes that commenced in March. Back then, the U.S. president pledged to employ decisive lethal force after the Houthis indicated they would restart assaults on Israeli ships navigating off the coast of Yemen in retaliation for Israel imposing another blockade on the Gaza Strip. At the time, they described the warning as affecting the Red Sea, the Gulf of Aden, the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, and the Arabian Sea. The big question remains, what changed suddenly? Why did the White House order the U.S. Central Command officials to pause offensive operations against the Houthis? Here's all you need to know. The Houthis had been carrying out missile and drone strikes, targeting both commercial and military vessels in the region. The leadership of the Houthis has characterized its strikes on commercial and military vessels as a means to put an end to Israel's conflict with Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Between November 2023 and January 2025, the Houthis aimed at over 100 commercial ships using missiles and drones, resulting in the sinking of 2 vessels and the deaths of 4 sailors. This has significantly decreased the volume of trade passing through the Red Sea corridor, which usually handles $1 trillion worth of goods each year. The Houthis halted their assaults during a self-imposed truce until the U.S. initiated a widespread offensive against the rebels in mid-March. Since beginning its air campaign, the U.S. moved from solely targeting Houthi launch sites to firing at ranking personnel, as well as dropping bombs in Yemeni neighborhoods. U.S. airstrikes struck several regions of Yemen, including Hodeidah, Al-Juf, and the capital of Sana'a. And then came Trump's sudden decision to stop. Trump made his announcement on the same day that Israel's military carried out airstrikes against the Houthis, stating that they completely disabled the international airport in Yemen's capital, Sana'a. Israel's airstrikes on sites in Yemen marked its second wave of attacks in response to a Houthi missile strike that targeted the Ben Gurion International Airport in Tel Aviv. U.S. officials stated that the administration did not inform Israel about the agreement with the Houthis before Trump mentioned it publicly. Israel was reportedly irked by the unexpected news, particularly because the Houthis have continued to launch attacks on Israel proper and other Israeli targets. It seems that Israel is not included in the agreement between the U.S. and the Houthis. Were the costs of the U.S. operation against the Houthis the reason behind Trump's surprise decision? Let's take a detailed look. The expenses for U.S. munitions deployed in daily strikes against Houthi rebel positions in Yemen, starting from March 15th, have reportedly exceeded $750 million. As per reports, the Trump administration has released over 2,000 bombs on more than 1,000 targets. The amount mentioned is just a small part of the overall expenses involved in the operation. It overlooks the expenses related to running 2 aircraft carriers, their support ships, and the flight hours for the planes. It does not account for the Houthis' destruction of at least 7 U.S. MQ-9 Reaper drones, each valued at over $30 million. 2 pilots and a flight deck crew member were injured in 2 episodes involving the F-18 Super Hornet fighter jets, which fell into the Red Sea from the aircraft carrier Harry S. Truman within 10 days of each other. A number of F-16s, along with an F-35 fighter jet, came close to being hit by Houthi air defenses, highlighting the potential for American casualties. Analysts say an extended campaign against the Houthis would have drained military resources away from the Asia-Pacific region.